Hey, what's up everyone? This is Peter O'Noon, and today I'm going to show you how to do wall climbing. So, sometime last week, Warren asked, how would you do Spider-Man or wall walking? While I would like to do wall walking this episode, I'm going to do it the next episode. This one, I'm just going to do wall climbing, and then we're going to continue off from the wall climbing to the wall walking and other techniques. But for now, we're going to do the simple wall climbing. So let me demonstrate what that is. So we're going to go to the wall. A notification is going to come up, and you press E. And then you press left, right, up and down, you can get on the wall. Now, if you go too high, you of course fall off. But if you go to another wall, you connect to it. When you have this joint right here, you will have to put in the animation blueprint. You will have to tell the animation blueprint that there is this joining happening and then have the animation effect appropriately. So for today, we're just going to implement the wall climbing. Let's get started. Okay, now let's get our project started. We want to choose a third-person template. I removed started content just because I don't usually use it. I'm going to rename this to wall climbing. Oh, let me actually add an I and create. Okay, great. Our project has loaded. And now one of the first things you notice with my character in the other demo was that I had a notification when you walk to the wall so that the player knows that they can climb. Now you can do this a lot of ways, including through UMG, but I just demonstrated through the simple text actor. So let's go with that first. We're going to go to our blueprint folder, go to our my character, open that. Let's attach this here. And we're going to go to components and let's click our capsule, drag this out. And now let's find the text render actor. And I'm going to rename this to wall notification, and just drag this under the mesh. Now let's just rename the text wall, or actually press E to wall climb. Now, like I said, there's much better ways to do this, but this is just a real cut and dry way to get it done. So let's fight this for a bit. All right, cool. You know, we can still add style though. So let's just like lean this back a little bit, turn it to the right. See, and then you can just turn this back the world. And you see right here, turns rotation of object to world, makes it easier. And let's click here. I mean, I'm thinking that looks great, but we can't be sure until we go in game. So now it obviously does not look so good. Let's drag this up a little bit, go back in game. It's looking all better, but the rotation's obviously not helping. Let's unhook that right there. Rotate this freely. Oh, it's still actually, that was the wrong one. It's this one. This is a rotational snapping. We're gonna uncheck that. There we go. And go back. See? You see what I mean? This is why you use a text render actor. This is the best part. So see, there you go. That looks, I mean, if I was in front of a wall, it would be pretty convincing, but we have to consider how close we have to be to the wall. So you know what? It's better actually just to put it behind the character. There we go. Makes the most sense. There we go. So we're going to save that. And now we have our text render actor made. Now the next step is to create the floating position in the boolean that enables wall climbing. So let's create a new boolean. We're going to name that wall climbing. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to create that floating POS, just for floating position. And we're going to make this a vector. And so the way it works is we're using this as our new position, and we're forcing the character to be on that position. That allows us to pretty much float or move in any direction we want to easily. Let's now create a new event begin. And this is going to set our floating position. So I'm going to do set, and we're going to get actor location. I'm going to set this here, and then connect this to the floating. So I'm going to save, compile. Now, to really get an understanding of what's happening, we're going to test what's going on. So let's drag this out, set, drag this out, set, and then we're going to actually add this. We're going to multiply this first by the axis, and then we're going to add this to the floating point, which is basically our location at this point, and to the floating point or floating position for the right axis. And then we're going to do something similar for the forward axis. Connect that there, this to the axis, this to floating position, this to the new floating position, basically updating it. And then we're going to save and compile. Now let's go in game and see what happens. Hit play. Oh, this is great. Nothing's happening. Does anyone know why? I wish like one of those little Dora Explorer glitter jingles would just show me the way. Anyway, let's go to event tick and actually apply the new floating position. And so we're going to do set actor location. Put that into new location, and bada bing. Let's compile. Now hit play, and you should just get this weird kind of, like what's happening right now. I mean, technically it's doing the correct job. You're going the direction you're supposed to, but it just seems real slow and off, like you're not actually moving. That's sort of what we want, but up and down. So let's just try getting the up vector, and let's apply that to the forward vector. So, because we want to go left and right, but we want to go up for the wall, right? So let's compile, hit play. Oh, what is this? I am now floating. What do you guys know about it? Look at this. Look at this. And I just got to press E to climb. I'm just always climbing in space. So that works. So now you understand what's going on. It's just updating position, and the character is just kind of forced to be there. And so basically what happens when we flip on while climbing, this happens, and so you follow the floating position, and then when you flip it off, you go back to your normal location, and then gravity is applied, and yada yada yada. And so now let's add functionality to find the wall and attach to it. So that means we're going to now finally assign E to attaching to the wall once it's available to be attached to. So So we're going to start off with the event tick. Let's get this wall climbing boolean, create a branch, connect this to here, connect that to there. Now, as you can see, the power is within this event tick. This climbing is telling the event tick what to do. And what we should do if you're not climbing is checking for the wall. So let's go to single line trace by channel. Well, it's not single line trace, it's line trace. Now, and let's get actor location. Hopefully your wireless keyboard is better than mine. Let's get our actor rotation. Let's break our rotation. And we only want the yaw. So let's make rot. Hold control click and drag this here to the yaw. Now we want to get the forward vector because we're checking in front of our actor. Let's drag this, let's give a little bit more room to this. I'm going to multiply this by a float by 100. And then we're going to add this to our location. And that'll just push a trace in that direction, in the forward direction, 400 units. And that's it. So now we have that check going. So we want the response of this line trace to kind of dictate if we can climb a wall or not. So the next thing we want to do then is create a branch. I'm going to connect that to the condition. Now, we're going to update our wall notification at this point. We're going to let the player know if they can attach to the wall. So let's do visibility, and we're going to do set. Now drag this up, copy and paste. Drag this here, connect our wall notification to our set visibility node, and we're going to check this one on. Now, what it's saying is we got a hit, so let's let the player know they can climb the wall. Now, something else needs to happen in this case as well. So let's do this. Let's drag this out. And now we're going to introduce our hotkey, which is E. From E, we want to do a branch. And we want to check again if we're wall climbing at this point. Because if we're wall climbing and you press E again, you want to turn it off. So let's copy this, or select this, I should say, drag this up and set this for true to false. And then we're going to connect this back to the set visibility for false so that we can immediately go hide that right after. And let's now continue on to the gate. And we want this set visibility to be open and this one to be closed. Now save, compile. What we want to happen up here, once they press E and you're not wall climbing at this point, we want to enable wall climbing. And we also want to update the floating position. Because really that position that we update at the beginning, was just for testing purposes. We always want to update the floating position after we found a wall, because we're going to be moving from that position on. So let's get our actor location. And we're going to subtract this, connect this here. Now the reason we're doing this is so that we're not right on the wall. We're back a little ways from the wall. So let's go back to our forward vector here. That's a long way, but just this one, I promise. Let's multiply this by 100. No, actually, let's multiply that by 15. 100 would have been way too much. Save, compile, and what we want to do next now is change these to reflect the wall position in the wall that we're climbing. So we can keep some of these variables, but what we want to end up removing now is the up vector and the right vector. So I alt click these two variables to disconnect them. And let's drag these out. Alt click these as well. We're going to reconnect them, but you know what, let's actually Control Z, and just keep those on there. With those selected, let's drag this out. And we're going to do a little cleanup here, so don't worry. Drag this out over here, under here, because I want this to be aligned with this node here, sort of. And let's select all of these nodes, these nodes, these nodes, and these nodes. Drag these up. Let's get these nodes, drag them up. These nodes, and drag them up. You can really delete this. So that's the event begin, delete. And this right here, select it, drag it up. And now there's a little freedom in that area. Now, what we want to do next now is get the information from the wall that we just scanned for. Now let's save, compile. We want to take this out right here, break, hit result. Now from the normal, let's get X vector. Again, hopefully you have a better keyboard. And let's get the up vector. And we're also going to get the right vector. Now, we still need those forward and right axis inputs. So we want to get our right axis input. There we go, move right. And I believe the other ones move forward then. Right. Now we're going to multiply these to each other. And really, we can just sit here and multiply that as well. Connect that here. And we're going to multiply this by 5. Now we're going to multiply this by -5. And we're going to cancel this autosave. And we're going to now multiply this vector by the float. So we're just getting a little bit of distance, and we're adding it now to the up vector. That would be the up and down now, and this would be the left and right. So let's move these nodes so they make a little bit more sense here. Down, down. I kind of group mines together based on what they're doing, and do the same with these. All right. So it's not all too bad, right? Let's save and compile. Now, so what we've done so far is, let's actually move this up a little bit. Okay. So what we've done so far, our character is now able to update its up and down position or its left and right position while on the wall. The tick now updates the location as you're on the wall. If it's not on the wall, it checks constantly for the wall. Once it does find the wall, it displays to the player that yes, there's a wall available to climb. And here, it just tells the player, no, you're not able to climb. And it says set visibility false and you're not able to climb. Now, these of course close this gate and open this gate, which indirectly affects this. And now when the player press E and they attempt to climb the wall, if they're not climbing the wall, it goes and hits the gate. Now if the visibility is on and you say you can climb the wall, it goes through, it turns climbing on, and it sets the floating position. So now let's save, compile, and try this out. So actually let's go back, or my character, just so we can see what's going on. Turn this debug type to for duration. Save, compile, hit play. Now you can see there's a trace right in front of our character. So let's go to the wall, and that's visible. It goes away, it's visible. So let's press E, get on the wall. Now we're able to go on the wall. So this is weird though. Something's not right. Okay, let's take a break here and click the next video when you're ready.